Hello everybody. Gen 5 is arguably one of the best Pokemon generations ever created. However, its shinies do leave a lot to be desired. So today, I'm going to be fixing some bad Gen 5 shiny Pokemon. Kicking off our list, we have Lillipup. Its shiny turns it into like a weird yellow color with green accents, which honestly doesn't fit the rest of the line at all, and is just overall not a good shiny. So for my first shiny, I made it a little more yellow while giving it teal accents. This really fits in line with the rest of this Pokemon's evolution, and I honestly think this is what it should have been. For the second shiny, I made its body darker while making its face lighter while giving it purple accents. I feel like this is also a really good shiny, and honestly, should have been the shiny that this whole line got. And lastly, I kind of flipped its face and body colors around while giving it more of a teal blue accent. And out of all the shinies I've made, I think this one fits extremely well. And here are my shiny Lillipup together. Next up, we have Tranquil. Its shiny turns it to this weird neon green color with purple accents, and it's honestly just so gross and out of place that it shouldn't have even been considered. So for the first shiny, I decided to give it Pidov's colors, making it a navy blue with pink accents. I feel like this fits extremely well, and honestly is a nice step from Pidov. And for my second shiny, I decided to make it a brown color with bright purple accents and a red beak. This kind of goes more in line with Unpheasant, and honestly this is a shiny Game Freak could have made. And lastly, I decided to make it white and black with orange accents and a blue beak. This is probably one of my favorite shinies that I've made, and I am very bummed out that this wasn't the shiny. And here are my shiny Tranquil together. And next up, I'm going to do Sawk and Throat together in one section. Throat becomes a lighter orange with a green uniform, while Sawk gets a little darker with a little bit of a darker blue uniform. Honestly, these shinies could have been anything else but this. So for my first shiny, I decided to swap their colors while making the uniform white. This fits extremely well, and I'm honestly surprised Game Freak didn't do this. Next up, I decided to make their bodies slightly darker while making the uniform black. These are such clean shinies, and it's a real disappointment that Game Freak didn't do this. And for my last shiny, I made their bodies slightly darker while making the black on them a very dark shade of their body color. I feel like this helps to make this Pokemon stand out, and something that's worth hunting. And here are my shinies together. Next up, we have Basculin. He kind of just gets like a yellow tint to him, and nothing else really changes. This is a very unnoticeable shiny, and is one that really needs fixing. So for my first shiny, I decided to make its body a more aquamarine color while giving it yellow accents. I feel like this pops out just enough, and makes it look different enough, to actually warrant a shiny. For the second shiny, I made its body a brown color while making the black on it green and giving it blue accents. This really pops out, and actually makes it worthwhile. And lastly, I decided to make it a deep green while giving it green accents. This fits Basculin's design perfectly and is honestly the shiny we should have gotten. And here are my shiny Basculin together. Next up, we have Tynamo. He only really becomes a slightly darker color, while the yellow on him gets a little more orange. It is a very unnoticeable shiny, and something you could easily miss. So for my first shiny, I made it a very dark blue while giving it electric green accents. This fits Tynamo's design perfectly, and is honestly something you would be able to notice. Next up, I decided to make it a light green while giving it blue accents. It's kind of an inverse of the last shiny I did, but it also really fits with Tynamo's design. And for my last shiny, I kind of mixed my previous two together, making it blue with green accents, and making the little yellow part on it orange. While this isn't the best shiny, it is a really cool combination, and something that I would have rather seen. And here are my shiny Tynamo together. Next up on the list, we have Tornadus. His colors basically only desaturate, and it's really not a noticeable shiny. So for my first shiny, I made it a very dark green color while changing the purple to make it a little more red. Overall, this really fits, and is actually a noticeable shiny. For my next shiny, I made it a more yellow color with a little darker purple. While this isn't the craziest change, it's noticeable enough to make it actually worthwhile hunting. And lastly, I made its body teal while changing the yellow accents to orange and turning his eyes blue. Overall, this is an amazing shiny and really fits in line with Tornadus' design. And here are my shiny Tornadus together. Next up, we have Thundurus. The purple on him changes to a kind of pink color, and his body gets a little more desaturated. While it isn't the worst shiny, it could be better. So for the first shiny, I made the purple a deep navy while changing its body to a light blue. I feel like this also really fits the design, and honestly makes it stand out more. Next up, I decided to keep the pink on it but make it darker, while keeping its body a light blue. I feel these colors really work together and honestly make the Pokemon pop out. And for my last shiny, I really deepened all of its colors while changing its clouds black. This really fits in line with Thundurus' origin, and honestly makes it worth shiny hunting. And here are my shiny Thundurus together. And lastly, we have Landorus. His body turns to a little off yellow, while making the red on it orange. While again, this isn't the worst shiny, I feel like there could be more done with it. So for my first shiny, I kind of took its original shiny and upped the saturation, making it a very bright yellow and deep red. This really fits with Landorus' design, and honestly should have been the shiny that we got. For my second shiny, I inversed the colors of my previous shiny, making its body red and the accents yellow. I feel like this makes the Pokemon pop and actually stand out more. And lastly, I made its body a deep brown color while keeping the orange accents, but making the white on it brown. This really fits with Landorus and makes it look like it's actually in a sandstorm. And here are my shiny Landorus together. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment down below which shinies you liked or what shinies you would make. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed my content. But with that said, this is Let's Go 115 signing out. Peace.